Greetings, Pathfinders. Dustin here. Have ourselves a quick little announcement before we begin the show today. I am going to review the great new third-party class, the Emissary from Legendary Games, written by our Sasha Laranoa Harving. Unfortunately, she couldn't make it today, but wanted me to go ahead with the review myself. Which I'm more than prepared to do. So let's try to have a fun time, and maybe we'll see her in a future show with another release. Maybe we'll see Nov with a future show and another release. Maybe we won't. And that is okay, because this book is amazing, and just by writing it, that is more than enough for me. Alright, so yes, we'll do that review first. Alright, so first things first, you could find this on the Legendary Games website. You could find it on DriveThruRPG. You could even get the paper version off of Amazon if you want it so badly that you can't wait for any other type of shipment. The book itself is, let's see here. Book itself is 18 pages. It's a bit cheaper than the Cartomancer. But the content itself is wonderful. The class fulfills a great niche that I'm happy to see in Pathfinder 2nd Edition. And I will get into that once I get my... There we have it. All right. So, first things first. The Emissary, to discuss its niche, it almost rolls in a place that's almost, I want to say, partway between Swashbuckler, Magus, and Bard, while definitely being inspired by the Imperial bloodline of the Sorcerer, as we've read about on social media, and definitely comes off as. While it is a spellcaster, it is a focus spell-based spellcaster, so it does get that delicious first-level class feat. It progresses very much like a Swashbuckler in terms of armor and weapon attacks and saving throws. And it will be a frontliner, despite the fact you have abilities to do magic damage or buff yourself or your allies. You are doing it at the front line, which is great. Much like a sorcerer, you do pick a class path. In this case, instead of a bloodline, though, it is a Imperial Order. There are some really cool, really awesome flavored Imperial Order examples here in the book. Although I could see quite a few of my players wanting to make their own. The Order gives you a special weapon, sometimes even a special armor or shield that you gain a little bit more advanced proficiency in, much like a War Priest Cleric. In addition, it gives you access to your focus spells. And it gives you access to your training. Those are the weapons. Right. It gives you access to a special mark. The mark is kind of the most notable class feature of this class. When the Emissary hits somebody with a weapon, it leaves a mark on their body. So it's kind of symbol of their Imperial Order, a symbol of their home, a symbol of their empire. And that mark can then be, by default, it could be kind of used to enhance the damage of the next attack that hits the target. But there are a number of feats that have the imposition trait, which give you additional abilities that you could do to enemies that you've marked. Sometimes they're enemies that you've marked this round. Sometimes they're any number of enemies. As you level up, you could leave more marks on more people. You could have marks that, even though you use them, they stick around for one more use, or stick around to further debilitate the opponent. Since, as the class name could show you, Emissary is more kind of a ambassador, paragon of a country, nation, or organization. You do have quite a few diplomatic, intimidation, charisma-based skills. It is a charisma-keyed class, so you do have these skills like diplomacy and intimidate and what have you. And a lot of their class features give you additional uses for it, which I know you're thinking maybe like, wait, shouldn't those be class skills, which are a little bit less powerful than or skill feats, which are a little bit less powerful than class feats? But no. These feats are really good, despite keen off skills. They help in the encounter. Some of the flavor is excellent, like doing an intimidate check to force somebody onto their knees as a trip attempt, but using intimidate instead. Still has the attack trait. This class is really well balanced. I do not see this as more powerful or significantly less powerful than any currently existing base class. It simply helps fulfill that niche of being kind of a frontline bard who is still able to use magic with their melee weapons. That's a good way of putting it. And of course, less song themed. Uh, Another noticeable thing, the animal mascot line of feats let you get an animal companion and then give it familiar abilities. So you could get, say, a flying bear or a cat that could breathe underwater, or you can't get master abilities. It's specifically familiar form abilities. And personally, I would wonder about the balance of it with independent, but there's always, I mean, independent, there's a lot of issues with, even just when it's not familiar with all the things it can do, but that's okay, because at higher levels it does get a feat that essentially gives it independent anyway, which, hey, that's great. You do have to invest the class feats to upgrade your mascot to get that ability, though. Love that. The focus spells, the default, let's go over the Imperial Origins here for a minute. Sorry about that. So the Imperial Origins they put in here, they have the Abjurant Crusade. That's more for the type who wants to use a shield. They could help shield others. Their base focus spell is essentially the shield spell, except it doesn't go away after the first block. It rejuvenates each round for the duration of the spell. Fjords of Ice is the Frozen Kingdom, so to speak. They have they slow people down. They debuff in addition to when they do damage. Whereas Land of the Sighted, the divination themed kingdom, has a really cool focus spell that it gives you quickened at a low level, but when you cast the spell, you have to choose what actions you could take when you quicken. While it heightens, you could do more actions. There's a list of actions: feint, strike, stride. But you kind of gotta do that, have that tactical foresight in advance. And a divination themed kingdom is pretty cool, gotta admit. There's your necromancy kingdom. You do negative energy damage. You debuff people. You get some healing abilities too, you know. And there's the fire kingdom where you get, solar beams and cones of fire, and you get to manipulate people's fire weakness with its mark, in addition to your normal mark abilities. All of these have those additional mark abilities. Land of the Sighted gives a penalty to saving throws against effects produced by you and your allies. The necromantic one makes them enfeebled. These overloaded marks you could only use once every 10 minutes as a free action, so it feels like a focus spell, but they don't use up your focus points, which is important because you will need those focus points for your focus spells. Now, as many of us are in fact always concerned with multiclassing as the free archetype, the free archetype rule I'm seeing more and more often as just people's default go-to rule. Do want to point out that there are multi-class feats for this. They look fabulous. You get the mark right off the bat. Love this for a multi-class archetype. This class oozes with flavor. The idea of being an emissary of a kingdom, it could have very well been an archetype if it's not one already, come to think of it. And being able to put Zorro your mark on an enemy with a dedication feat, I would almost just want to take this dedication feat as is and ask my GM if I was going to say ask my GM if do I still have to take other class feats, but honestly the other emissary feats in this are great too. You could use this to get your winged bear. You could use this to get a focus point, get focus spells from those schools, which those focus spells are all really cool. Cones of Fire, Quicken Divination, there's no reason to not want these. This book does also come with a page. Oh, love this, by the way. It's funny. Showed this book to somebody, and the first thing they went to was the first thing I went to, which was this shield. Love the Kitsune shield with the cherry blossoms on it. Reminds me of Alexander Guinness's Kaioshin iconic fighter from Everyman Gaming. There is also some new equipment in this. The hooked knife, riving axe, scything sword, torn sword, and war scepter are all specialty weapons of the kingdoms in this book. They're really cool weapons. Love the flavor. They're well balanced. They're good martial weapons. Solid. There's really nothing in this book stopping you from modifying the kingdoms just a little if for some reason you really want a kingdom with a sun god that uses great swords. Yeah, sure. The balance is not going to be thrown off by choosing new equipment for your kingdoms if you want, but the kingdoms in here are so cool. The equipment in here is so cool. I don't know why you'd want to, because it is really inspiring. It's cool how it's great how Sasha was able to make this class with minimal in-book flavor, but maximum, oh man, I could totally make a character off this. I could totally make an entire backstory, even make an entire kingdom added to our campaign strictly with this book. Maybe even encourage your players to want to take the class itself. Pass it to a player who wants to play a courtier, but wants more than just to be a courtier, but wants a class that still kind of reflects that, being an emissary. Their emissary does also come with stances. It comes with flourishes. It comes with a lot of other cool stuff you could do with that mark. Really do like the idea of having to mark an enemy and then having stuff that you could do off that mark until the end of the turn. It feels like a Magus's Spell Strike. It feels like it will feel like a Magus's Spell Strike, or almost like a Mesmerist Stare for any of you who looked into the Mesmerist back in first edition. But having other stuff that keys off of it, in a way, adds a level of open designness that makes me want to write my own feats even for this class. The class feels like a base class. It feels like we could see other books with other feats just for this class. It really, really feels like a whole complete class, without having some huge, over-the-top, I don't want to call it a gimmick because that's a little derogatory, but over-the-top subsystem like the Kineticist and the Cartomancer. Both great books, have them right here, love them, use them. But this doesn't need that because it's such a solid concept of just, you are marked, now that you have my mark, I could let my allies do bonus damage to you, or we could just, or I could use it to enhance my ability to make you get on your knees with my intimidation check, or burn you alive and give you additional fire weakness, or any of the other awesome interference feats that this class gets a hold of. All right, artwork is fabulous. Quality of the book itself is fabulous. These are thick, nice, not too glossy, but plenty glossy pages in this book. I did just get mine off Amazon because I wanted to get it as soon as I could, so I could prepare this review for everybody. But whichever role-playing game vendor you prefer using, I say go for it. I highly recommend this book. I believe it was about $6, which $6 for an entire class. I mean, I know people who buy entire $40, $50 hardcovers just for one class in the book that they want to play. In this case, you're getting a class. You're getting, how many do we have here? 40? Yeah, more than 40 class feats, multi-class feats, items, pages of focus spells. It's a really, really quality product. I already have one other person in my Pathfinder Society Adventure Path Lodge who we've talked about this class with, who is excited to look into it and potentially play it. So yeah, if you want to learn more, you can go ahead and hit me up on social media. I've been talking about this class a bit on the, I believe, the No Direction Discord and some other social media contact places like that. In addition, you could check out Legendary Games, and you can check out the author Sasha Laranoa Harving on Nov's Facebook, Twitter. What other social media that you could find them on is fabulous. They're a great person to talk to, a lot of fun. I want to see them do more work. Not that they haven't already done far more than me, come to think of it. All right, and if they were here, we could get more into the origins of the book, but you can check that up yourself, as they posted a great description of the class and what inspired them to write it on their Facebook very recently. And it comes down to wanting to make a martial Imperial Sorcerer, completely dedicated to that line of my empire. And man, they did it. They blew it right out of the park. You feel like you are a magic ambassador. You feel like you are. It's a fabulous class. I'm talking myself right now into making one of these instead of the Cartomancer I told my GM I was going to make for a campaign, and maybe I can multi-class. Mark people with my cards as I deadly deal them, and mark them with the 4 suits. Oh man, that'd be cool. See, look at me already. I'm already going off on tangents as I think of neat ways to combine these classes. Hi everybody. Yes, Emissary, great class, highly recommend it, can't stop recommending it. Everybody should go ahead and check it out. I am so pleased with the legendary classes. Like I've been saying, Pathfinder 2nd Edition has such tight math that it is primed for great third-party content, because it's hard to break 2nd Edition. I mean, yes, you could just add a bunch of bonuses and screw up with the math, but if you don't touch that math, it is hard to break 2nd Edition with cool new abilities, and that's what players want. That's what GMs want. That's what we all want, is cool new abilities. Nobody really liked taking weapon focus back in 1st Edition. We want to force people to kneel in front of us with intimidate checks. We want to throw fire out of our fingers. We want the fantasy. We want the fantasy. All right. So going to head on to a bit of Paizo news here. So yes, the Emissary class is in fact out. You should go check it out. Legendary Games, great class. Where is my slideshow button? There we have it. While you're at it, check out Alexander Agunas' Gibbering Mouth article. I think it was released Tuesday. He goes over the pros and cons of 5e, PF1, PF2, and Starfinder, and I just agree with practically everything there. I think there was one sentence where I'm like, But great way to if you're ever wondering which one of these should I check out, hey, check it out. There's in a way, you could almost take the article as advice to a GM looking to adjust their game's home rules. Check out at least what Alex doesn't like about each system, and what you could do to possibly improve them. Yes, that was in fact me having an on-air ooh shiny moments. And I will not quit having my on-air shiny moments, because when I see something shiny, I will in fact point it out as often as I can. Thank you there, Katie. All right. Check out the Starfinder Humble Bundle. This came out perfect timing for me, as my Pathfinder Lodge is in fact looking to start Starfinder once a month, every other week. We'll figure that out. But yes, the Starfinder Humble Bundle is you could get 35 different PDFs plus the hardcover Packed Worlds and the beginner box for $50. If you pay less, you'll just get the PDFs, but $50 for what is that? $30-$40 book plus that beginner box, which excellent beginner box. Heard nothing but good things about it. Check it out. Support charities, support Paizo, support Humble Bundle. You can pay what you want. Don't forget to adjust those sliders so you can see how much is going to each of those 3 organizations. And you could go ahead and figure it out. Sorry about that. Got another distraction there in the chat. Apparently I'm living up to my old nickname. All right. And then, there's been an organized play scheduling update. So starting, I believe, in November, they are going to adjust how many new scenarios we are getting each month. We are getting more bounties, including bounties, 3rd level bounties, and Starfinder bounties, which, that's great. 1-hour bounties are an excellent addition to the product line. I love them as a GM, just being able to look through the covers and be like, oh, that monster looks like something I really want to use with my players. Let me go check it out. They're single encounter scenarios that give you a map, they give you a monster, they give you tactics. What else do you want? You don't have to play them with Pathfinder Society legal characters, but you can still get credits and apply them to your 1st level Pathfinder Society character. And they're a great way for introducing people to Society. They're great to run at conventions when you don't want those 4-hour slots. And they don't have the Pathfinder Society theme set in stone, so you don't have to talk to your players who haven't played Society yet for 2 hours before the adventure to get them to understand everything that's going on. Which brings me to the other point, which is we're going to have more one-shots. One-shots are full 4-hour adventures, self-contained, not always, but could be society-based. They are legal for Society upon release with Chronicle Sheets. You don't have to play Society legal characters in them, but you could. And they are essentially Society scenarios without having to have that venture captain speech and knowing all the rules for points in schools and earning boons and limiting your race by ACP and all these other things. Hey, that's great. If you want the meta plot, go play Society. If you want cool 4-hour adventures written by fabulous authors with all the twists and turns that you expect from Paizo pre-published adventures, check out One Shots. All right, I did do another Booster Bestiary last Tuesday, and I'm doing one next Tuesday, so go ahead and check me out. I open a booster pack based on what people say in chat. I pick a card based on what people say in chat, and then we make a Pathfinder 2nd Edition monster together. I always have a lot of fun. Last week, I opened the Legend of the Five Rings pack, which there will always be one of the 6 packs will be Legend of the Five Rings. The other are mostly Magic. But I do have tons of packs from assorted card games. You might see them up there on my wall, right there behind me. I keep a lot of them under glass for nostalgia purposes. But yeah, go ahead and check it out. I like making Pathfinder monsters. It keeps my designer brain in shape for just such a thing. So thank you again for showing up, everybody. One of my streams is Apex instead of PF. Yeah, I don't know why my stream game category keeps changing. I have to reset it every time to Magic or Pathfinder, and sometimes even when I set it to Pathfinder, it will change. I think Apex is the first on the drop-down list, so I think it's defaulting to that. I need to get better at learning how to use Restream, that is for sure, and I just gotta sit down and try them tools out. But you know what? The people who know about my stream know what I'm into. They know it's Pathfinder. They know it's Magic. They know it's dead card games. And if I want to find more people, I will find more people. So thank you very much for watching my show. And thank you for supporting all that is third-party Pathfinder over the years. Because, man, there is so much great stuff there. And you just got to give it a shot. Check out the author name, Google the author, see what other work they've done for Paizo, figure out whether or not you like them, and then, hey, $6 for an entire base class. Like I said, it's absolutely fabulous. So have a great time, everybody. Have a wonderful weekend. We have a lot of stuff going on this weekend. Personally, I'm just going to be sitting in my room writing, as I have a bunch of stuff to do, kind of a conveyor belt of products, literally 2 publishers just telling me, here's work, keep working on whatever you want, and we'll just keep giving you more stuff, and I couldn't be happier. I got myself I believe I have a No Direction blog post coming on Tuesday. And whatever that turns out to be, it will turn out to be. I have a backlog of stuff I could write about. We will figure that out together. I mean, I'll figure it out alone, and then you could read it. And until next time. One more quick announcement. If anybody out there knows a third-party publisher, is a third-party author, and wants me to buy and review your work, go ahead and message me up. You don't have to come on the air. If you want to, that's cool too. We could talk about it then. I could talk about it alone. Either way is great. I just want to own more Pathfinder 2nd Edition third-party stuff and want to share it with the rest of the world. So hit me up on Discord, chat, YouTube Messenger, however you want to hit me up, and I will check out your work. And every Friday I will try to get another third-party work up here to rant about. So thank you again for watching. Everybody have yourself a great weekend, and I will see you when